So thank you so much for joining us, Jimmy. I'd like to start just with having you introduce yourself. I mean, of course, we know you at Jobs of Justice because you've been so wonderful and willing to speak up about the precarious situation that DACA holders face in the past, and been able to get a glimpse of some of the issues around the raids and poultry plants in Ohio through you. But I would love it if you would just introduce yourself. How would you describe yourself?
So my name is Jimmy Rodriguez. I'm 19 and I'm from Willard, Ohio, and I'm a DACA recipient.
And how has your experience with DACA been?
My experience with DACA has been very wonderful. Getting an opportunity to get a job, get my license, drive, be able to transport myself, my family when needed. So it's been great.
Good. Yeah. So what has DACA meant for your family? What was it like before you had DACA compared to now?
Well, back then, it was always being scared of driving because without a license, because you can't do that. So being able to get my license and be able to drive my parents to go get groceries or go out with, friends or something, that really meant a lot for me to be able to drive now. So it means a lot for my family and I.
With DACA sitting with the Supreme Court, and with the possibility of the Supreme Court releasing a decision to take DACA away and therefore take work permits away from people right now during this pandemic, during this crisis, what would it mean for you or your family or your community?
Well, having an overturn of DACA, that would mean some hardships, of course. It would affect my college, really. It'd be more difficult to go to college, and also getting a job to save up for my family and also for my education. And for my community, it would affect other DACA recipients, wanting to go to college. Yeah, it would just affect the income, education, transportation, and yeah. So pretty much the everyday essential that you need in life.
I'm curious in this moment how COVID has changed your work life, or has changed life for your community, what you're seeing with how folks are living now under the pandemic.
They haven't been really being able to go out because most of them don't really have license or any work permits, so it's more difficult for them. It's a struggle for them to get everything that they need, from toilet paper to water and just food. That's been the hardships of COVID. Before COVID, a bunch of the Hispanic community would ask for rides or get rides from other people, and that's how they would get there and go get their goods. But now nobody really wants to go out, and it's a lot of risk, so it's more difficult for them to get their essentials that they need. I have read some posts and news about ICE going after people since they're staying in their houses, knocking at the doors and getting them, which I feel is not correct, just to take advantage of the situation, even though it's very dangerous.
From reading some of the articles in the Washington Post today and some other good news coverage, that a lot of immigrant workers and a lot of undocumented workers are in jobs that are considered essential right now when it comes to agriculture or food supply chain sort of industries. And so I'm wondering, what you think about undocumented workers, or people without work authorization being considered essential but are not getting the support they need.
It's deepened the problems even more now. Because yes, food was always there, but now some people are hoarding or taking more than what they should, and these people don't have the transportation to go get those goods, so it's difficult for them. And some of them have little children, and it's difficult for them as well. Right now, my dad's been working like 7 days a week now because he knows like we need the income just in case for anything happens, and yeah.
So there have been efforts by Congress. There's been 3 packages passed by Congress to help out with the current crisis with the pandemic. And we know that it has largely left immigrant communities out, undocumented and different statuses with permit holders. Right now there is buzz that there might be a 4th package that Congress is working on. And if you had a wish list or had one thing that you would like to see in the next package, what do you think would make a difference for folks being able to work safely, or make a difference in the security and that precariousness that you're feeling right now?
I feel like just the precautions of making sure this like COVID thing doesn't spread even more, and making sure like as they've said, essential workers. Yes, they're essential workers, but we also gotta make sure like their family needs are well met, because we also need to know how their families are going through, because just because they're showing up to work doesn't mean that their family is like perfectly well and they have everything that they need. About not spreading the virus, but also helping out each worker's families, knowing that they're well equipped with the situation, and that we shouldn't be treated less than anyone else just because we're both humans, both skin and bones. We both feel the pain of how COVID is right now, and we should just take care of everyone, not just from the country, but just take care of everyone and making sure everyone's well so we can end this virus, and just to stay home because you're helping the world just by staying home and following the procedures that they're given.